shall we? Then to get us started, it's not I today who has that distinct honor. It is a young man who is now a young monk. Mr. I always say, almost venerable Dinidu Puta, Dinidu Kapukotu, he was his lay name. Spent very many years of his life in Australia. It was there he came across the teaching. See, sometimes to get the Dhamma you have to go abroad. So, go. Sometimes, what's next door, you only hear after you've travelled many thousands of miles, and then you somehow found this YouTube channel. Oh, there are plenty of stories like that. Within a few kilometers of the monastery, and they only found the Dhamma online. Many people have come up to me and said stories like that. So this young man, very smart, he's got a good head on his shoulders, and his good head is only second to his good heart. As a young Anagarika, I loved him to pieces. He's a really good chap. You would have had the opportunity to associate with him while he was here, helping set up the sermon hall. Very respectful. Doesn't say much, but he's got a lot going on in his head. And he's also the pioneer to the sasana in his family. In his extended family, he's got a distant cousin, a brother, who is already a monk with us, that is an extended family. But in his immediate family, his nuclear family, he is the first. Just imagine, folks, what dreams and ambitions they must have had when they uprooted themselves from this country and took themselves across the shore, across the seas. A dream, the Australian dream. Like I once had the UK dream. Going in search of greener pastures, where the grass is always greener on the other side. It's always the case, isn't it? Ever hopeful. But then to somehow have enough merits to be so far away from home, where his home was supposed to be, where he was supposed to find his home, to be so far away from home, and yet to discover that the truth was only a skip and a hop away. And then to come back, all of them. That must tell you something. Those stories must tell you something. He will relate his story to you, or some parts of it at least with you, to give you a bit of an insight as to what happened in his life and how this Dhamma transformed his life. But I know something about what happened with him and his family. And these are those transformational stories, from a life that was looking forward to extravagance. Today is a life looking forward to enlightenment. Just imagine how he must have grown up in a land where, there's everything. All you have to do is just a bit of hard work and you can get it. It's a land of opportunities. To now be in the land of the Buddha, the land of the opportunity, not opportunities, but the opportunity. A young boy who went looking for joy came back home when he found that true freedom was only a hop away. So without further ado then, it is my greatest honor to invite the then almost but now most venerable, the Venerable Kumburegama Dhamma Ruchi, Thero, up onto the dais, and I invite him most respectfully to precept the audience, his family of Dharmishta Rajagirians, a community that is not foreign to him at all, a community where he experienced friendship, joy.
Before we commence, let's take a moment to pay our respects and show our reverence to the Blessed One, the Perfect One, our Lord Buddha. You know, do so, please chant the Namaskar with me 3 times. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Firstly, I'd like to begin by saying I am truly humbled to be in your presence and to have the opportunity to speak to you, the Dharmishta Rajagirians. It truly is a blessing for me to be able to, I guess, for the first time to speak to an audience, and for it to be you, my mothers and fathers, for I think almost a year. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you on behalf of a certain group of people, namely being the people who are behind the camera. And that has 2 parts to it. The first being, if you go through the portal that is the lens of the camera and come out the other end, which tends to be a screen of your phones, your tablets, your laptops and whatnot, are your own brothers and sisters, the people who join this sermon online. Many thousands of them. And to that group I used to belong to. Because as you know, when I was living in Australia, the only sermon that I could, I think, genuinely relate to and understand fully was this sermon. Though my parents were connected with the monastery and they were listening to Guru Nandar's sermons, my Sinhala wasn't developed enough to be able to understand those fully. And so when the opportunity and this sermon came around, this was my first proper foray, I guess, into the Dhamma, and to actually be able to understand it. And so I have to thank you for that, because if it wasn't for you, this sermon wouldn't exist. It's because of your merit power that this sermon exists. It's because of your merit power that Swami Nansi can speak such vibrant, colourful and deep Dhamma points. And it's because of your presence here that this sermon has become such a vibrant and creative place. I can tell you from experience, because in the monastery I'm connected with the media department, that when we take recordings of sermons, for example, if it's just a monk speaking to the camera, compared to a sermon where it's done to a live audience, the difference is night and day. And so for a sermon to be truly successful, at least 75% of that comes from the audience. And so, even though there's many behind the camera, it is always the live audience who make the difference. So I have to thank you once again for making that difference and making this sermon such a listenable experience. Because as a layperson, I was not someone who was, I guess, fond of the Dhamma. Though my parents tried to force me to listen, I was never agreeable. But when this sermon came about, my father recommended me, say, there's this new English sermon, maybe give that a try. I reluctantly said yes. And because that day I reluctantly said yes, I'm sitting here now as a monk speaking to you. And that is wholeheartedly because of you. And again, I thank you for that. My ordination is because of you. And that brings me to my second point, which is the second group of people behind the camera. The Anagarika Mahathas who've come before me, who've come here to help set up this sermon, to help set up the camera, to drive Swaminathan here. All of our ordinations, I think there's about 10 of us now, maybe more. It's all because of you, again. It's because you've created this environment where we can come here and to earn merits, to get ordained and to attain Nibbana. It's because of this environment you've created that we can come here and do this. As a layperson, I was a photographer for some time, but videography I never dabbled in, I guess. But because of this sermon, I had the opportunity to learn how to record videos and to be able to record a sermon. And I guess because of that, I was able to earn merits, not just here, but all over the monastery. And so through those merits, I am now sitting here speaking to you. After coming to Rajagiri and coming to Gateway, I was able to develop my personal skills, my attributes, thanks to you. As a layperson, I was very shy. I remember when we had to do a presentation in school, I skipped. I didn't go to school because I was that scared of speaking to people. I mean, my own classmates, I couldn't speak to. But now, I'm sitting here speaking to you. And that's because I was able to develop these skills by coming here, by earning merits, and by speaking with you week in, week out, helping solve your problems, answering your questions. And through that I was able to develop my Dhamma as well, because sometimes you would come up to me and ask me questions regarding the Dhamma. And so I had to think, I had to contemplate, and sometimes I'd say, okay, I'll come back to you next week. And so I'd spend that whole week trying to come up with a solution to your problem. And because of that, I got to go at least a few steps ahead of in my journey. And again, that's all because of you. And because I was able to earn merits thanks to you by coming here. Today I'm sitting here as a monk. And the serenity that I am experiencing now is, again, because of you. I don't have to polish shoes ever again in my life. I don't have to own a car ever again in my life. I don't have to iron clothes. I don't have to build a house. Right? I don't have to fill that house with furniture. I don't have to fill a wardrobe with clothes anymore. All I own are 2 robes. And my alms bowl, that's it. I don't think it gets simpler than that. So this peace you've given me, and the peace you've given to at least 10 other monks who've also come here to drive the Swaminathan to set up the camera, is your doing. I mean, consider, let's say 10 at least, right? 10 monks that you've contributed to their ordination. That's 10 houses you've saved from being built. That's 10 cars you've taken off the streets. Right? I mean, you are saving the environment by doing this. Not only that, but you're saving our lives. Not only that, you've given me the opportunity to live amongst my teachers. Even now, currently, my current personal teacher used to be one of the Anagarika Mahathas who used to drive Swaminathan to Gateway. So you've given me a teacher. Not only that, but you've contributed incredibly to our monastery. And now, on that point regarding the LB project, I'd like to tell you that 2 nights ago, we laid a section of the first floor concrete of the building that you are helping make. And so that's coming together really nicely now. And so your incredible contribution to us, to our monastery, and I guess to the betterment of the whole world is felt throughout. And I'd like to take this opportunity to wholeheartedly thank you for that. The only reason I can sit here and speak to you is again because of you. I didn't come to this monastery hoping to get ordained. I came because I met a group of people who were facing the same problem I was, or they came across the same problem I came across. Namely, that we do things in our lay lives. We go to school, we go to university, get a job, get married and continue. But there is never an end to it, right? It never stops. And there is no reward either. You keep doing these things over and over and over again, but you're never left with anything tangible. You can't take any of the money that you earn when you die, can you? You can't take your house with you. You can't take your car with you. The only thing you can take is your merits. And only a select few people can even get the opportunity to know that, really. And so, facing this problem, I saw the people around me, my friends, my family, them chasing their dreams and doing all these things, but I saw them not get any further than they were before. I mean, if you take the richest man in the world, for example, he is the richest. There's no one richer than him. But he's still trying to get richer, isn't he? He's still trying to earn more money. So, I mean, if the richest man is like that, who are we? It's like we're all running on treadmills. We keep running and running and running and running, but we never get anywhere. And so, through, merits and being able to listen to the Dhamma, I understood this problem. And because I understood this problem, I decided to come to the monastery, but not hoping to ordain. Ordination is just a byproduct. It's a byproduct of the merits that I was able to earn throughout the year and a half that I spent as an anagarika. And around the 9-10 months that I got to come here, week in, week out, to spend time with you and to earn merits here, which was an incredible opportunity. Again, there are, I think, 230 odd monks in the monastery, but only around 10 of them had the opportunity to come here, ever. And so I'm, again, incredibly blessed to be here to speak to you. And again, I wholeheartedly thank you for the opportunity you've given me. And I'd like to finish this by saying, this opportunity you've given me is yours to take also. You've contributed to this, therefore you own a part of this. It's like, imagine you won the lottery, alright? And so when you win the lottery, what you do is you don't just sit around doing nothing. You take the ticket and you go redeem it. That's how you get your reward, right? So again, I urge you, you've won the lottery. You've not just won the lottery, you've won at least 10 now. There's at least 10 people you contributed. There's many more as well. So I urge you, come to the monastery and redeem it. Take what's rightfully yours. Experience the bliss and the serenity that I get to experience now. I invite all of you. We're always open for you, we're always ready for you. But it's you who has to take the step in. Again, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to be able to speak to you, to be able to ordain, to be able to get a chance to be free from this relentless cycle. Thank you. May the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem be with you.
Those are the words of a son who has just very gratefully spoken to many, many, many parents. And he spoke from the heart. I could feel the genuineness in every word. In fact, he is very humbling to see how he's looked at this whole setup and this community and the perspectives through which he has seen it and the reasons for which he is grateful today. I often tell you that there are many people behind this camera. You only see one man, but there are many. And he is one of them, or at least he was one of them. I often tell you how these sermons would not be possible if not for all of you, each and every one of you, doing your merits week on week, coming here, creating this really amiable environment, this communal feeling that you have, and this sense of brotherhood that you extend to one another, which makes people want to keep coming back. And the best thing is you keep wanting people coming back, people who have merits. That's the best thing about this. People who have merits. Those are people who we should spend time with. Because when you come across someone who has merits, that's like a rich man. He's a truly rich man. Because if we spend time with a rich man, chances are we can learn how to become rich ourselves. The universal currency is merits, isn't it? Not dollars or pounds. The universal currency is merits. And that is why he repeated several times over, merits, merits, merits. The merits that he earned by coming here, by serving you, by setting up these cameras, by bringing Swami Nuances here, by answering your Dhamma questions. I didn't know he did that. But that's wonderful. The fact that you feel confident to even take your questions to our Anagarika Mahatyas. I love that. People who are a little bit more relatable to you. If you see me in a robe, you see them in clothes and attire somewhat close to what you come here in. At least that's a little bit more relatable. So then to get their perspective on how the life of an Anagarika is, how they see the Dhamma. I could be giving you tall tales for all you care, right? But to get it from them, to hear it in their words. And it was music to my ears to hear him say that there was days where he would take your questions back to the monastery, contemplate, perhaps went and spent time in the Valley Malur. Maybe that is the question he took to his teacher during his Guru Hamu, his teacher's meeting. He would have probably put his question to his teacher and said, there's a devotee at Rajagiri who's come and asked me this question. I want to be able to answer their question for them so that they can experience the same joy that you and I do. Venerable Sir, please can you help me figure this out? So the following day he would have come back. Now I remember there were occasions when on the way back from Rajagiri he would ask me questions in the car. Not letting me take my baby nap. How about this, how about that, how do you look at something like this? Swami Nuhansi, he would ask me. So now I know. I hadn't figured it out. So is it any surprise today that he has earned the merits and the privilege and the honor? The universe has rewarded him. That's how I would put it. The universe has rewarded him. You've got to earn this, ladies and gentlemen. Things that come free, things that come for free, you have to earn them. You can't buy them. To earn something and to buy something are two different things, aren't they? You can buy a house, but you have to earn respect. You can't buy that. You can buy a car, but you have to earn a mother's love. To earn a mother's love, you have to have enough merits to be born human, to a human mother. You can't buy that. You can't buy a sermon. These are not for sale. It could be that you're the richest man in the world, but if you didn't have the merits to listen to a sermon, I'd go mute in front of them. To have enough merit to be rich is a different kind of merit to be in the presence of the Dhamma, noble association. And in that regard, you are all very blessed. That is why the Buddha established the Mahasangha. If the Buddha and Dhamma alone were enough, he would not have bothered with the Mahasangha. In fact, much of the hard work he had to do in his last life was to set up the Sangha, to go on foot, walking miles at a stretch, stopping village to village, door to door, talking to people, sharing with them the profound truths that he had realized, and then creating the sasana, laying down the rules and code of conduct when it was time to do so, answering their questions, solving their problems. You can imagine what it must have been, to set up a new community, something that did not exist, to start up an organization. If you have any experience of setting up an organization, right? He set up an organization that was to last 5,000 years. Hundreds of thousands of people joined, even during the Buddha's era. And to this day, we are still members of that grand organization. But unlike other organizations, this one is a little bit different because we here are organized to disorganize. That is the difference between this organization and every other organization in this world. All other organizations come into being to thrive, to remain, to last, to exist till the end of time. Whereas this organization, the very purpose of this organization is to organize humans, to organize minds, to organize beings, people, whose ultimate goal is to perish, to go into non-existence. Swami Narayan's last words were, and call of him, it was a call to you, it was an invitation to experience the same bliss and serenity that he experiences. To stop running on that treadmill. Because you're all running a treadmill. Like the donkey behind the carrot last week. You're getting used to this mockery now, aren't you? Good. But don't get used to it. Don't get too used to it, because then you'll just be okay with it. These are all little talkers. What do you call a talker? A knock? Okay. A little knock on the head, just a reminder, gentle invitation to say it's time. It's time, come forth, come forward. But to get off this treadmill, you need some wisdom. Intelligence alone will not help you do that. Intelligence will help you come up with and make sense of a logical argument. But for your internals to agree with your intelligence, you need wisdom, ladies and gentlemen. Now, even before we spoke to you, you were exhausted with life.